Let's talk about India, Pakistan, okay? Because I think that while this is not my area of expertise, and I want to, of course, make that first and foremost, the amount of dialogue I've been seeing online of people starting to dip their toes in it like an expert, people taking them seriously, while also domestic commentators from both countries have left foreigners confused due to the way they present themselves. And I'll just give you this example. People always talk about Indian television. People were quote tweeting this, talking about, oh, Indian TV this, Indian TV this. This is actually Pakistani TV. You got the PTI leader, which is Imran Khan's party, the arrested political leader, against the PML, which is the Pakistan Muslim League. That's the opposition. They're going back and forth over, and we're going to get into this, a terrorist attack that has created a lot of tension between the two countries. It happened in India, where a lot of Indians were targeted, and what the Indian government said, they don't know for sure if it's connected to Pakistan. Pakistan said we're open to an open and transparent investigation into it. India has yet to provide any evidence of their connection to this horrific terror attack that killed well over 20 people, as people were gunned down in an open field. But as people are trying to figure out what happened, and they turn into Pakistani TV, this is the type of dialogue they're getting, which, I mean, most people know Indian news broadcasts to have this problem, but, this seems to be something that both cultures share. Listen, try to make heads or tails of any of this. This is in English, by the way, so you should be able to understand.
He's saying, I'm on one page with the army, I'm on one page with the establishment, and now that he has lost...
Abdul Samad Yaqub has a right to respond. In this all-out Pakistan versus Pakistan fight, Abdul Samad Yaqub has a right to respond.
He's no one to represent Pakistan.
ये ISI के tattoo.
Do not invite people.
You saying she's a ISI ka tattoo. Okay, whatever that means.
They don't have any respect. They don't have any grace.
I know you guys are so...
Look, okay, as much people... I took the hippy-dippy panel format from Pakistani and Indian TV, okay? They can get the credit. My gosh, how many people did he need on at once?
Look at the fight. Look at what's happening inside Pakistan. They're going to fight us. They're going to attack us. They're going to respond to us. These people, these Pakistanis.
I may be arrested tomorrow. You are going to...
Don't be afraid, Abdul.
I know my fate.
And now again...
She's threatening you. She's threatening you. She's threatening you, Abdul. She's threatening you on a program. She's threatening you.
People of India.
Threatening you. I think she's threatening them.
Tired of your government.
Okay, so obviously that could be a little difficult if that's how you're approaching. And I'm not saying that there aren't Pakistani or Indian content creators that can better explain it. There are. It's just you're not going to get it on these types of programs, which is the type of stuff that usually goes viral. You know what? It's not only the yelling that I love about this. It's also the giant, like extremely hyperbolic text putting like on screen everywhere at the same time, as well as the live poll that has 91% yes, that says time for India to launch its kinetic response against Pakistan. 91% yes, 9% no. My goodness. My goodness. Now, this is an Indian TV program, but these are Pakistani politicians. So then you just compound, and it shows that, look, well, there might be a lot of divide between the two peoples. They can still make the same garbage political coverage. Okay? They can still do it. They can still do it, okay? They can still do it. So what is actually going on there? Because you see stuff like this going on in the UK, Indians protesting with water bottles, and you're like, how does this water bottle have anything to do with the war? I mean, the possibility of the war or this terror attack. Okay, so let's start to give you guys some explanation of what happened, okay? So there was a terrorist attack in the Kashmir region, which is a region that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken a lot of pride in trying to, quote unquote, in his general words, stabilize. So Kashmir used to have a certain amount of autonomy due to its diversity of having a lot of Muslims, having Hindus, and the fact that, of course, Pakistan disputes the historical, the territorial claim there, and they've believed that it's part of Pakistan, while India, of course, believes it's part of India. Now, this autonomy was done away with back in 2019 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in an attempt to better absorb the region into wider India and give the Indian government more control over the region, which has seen security crackdowns, internet outages, and all sorts of stuff to try to bring down the force of the government in Kashmir. They filled it up with soldiers in order to stop any idea of rebellion, any idea of a security risk. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has actually used this as part of his nationalist chest beating, so his BJP party can gain more support from those who want to see India make good on its historical claims, to make sure that it holds on to Kashmir with an iron grip. Now, it is in this context, and it's a little different, but I remember at the start of the war in Gaza after October 7th, when how people viewed Netanyahu due to the security failures of what occurred. I think that's something that Narendra Modi might fear when he pitched this so much as part of his image, and then there was this terror attack. Now, what happened was there were gunmen that went to Kashmir and killed well over 20 people targeting Hindus. And there is not a lot of footage of the attack, but there is some. And one interesting piece of footage from the attack is this zipliner who unknowingly records himself while ziplining, smiling, laughing, yelling, having fun. And what he doesn't know is he's literally flying over the attack. See if you can notice. Now, there's nothing that's like gory, nothing that's we need to give a really strong content warning for. But see if you can notice the commotion on the ground and some people dropping. Woo! Those are the bullets, you can hear them. People are now running. That man's down. Now, I've seen a lot of conspiracy theories in relation to this video. If you go into comments of any of these, you'll get some stuff like that. For example, ye black t-shirt to not that one. Let me see. It looks like locals have an idea this is gonna happen because it's like, hey, look, he's smiling. He's ziplining. He's going like super, super fast. He's probably distracted by being way up in the air. And he seems pretty distracted with recording himself too, okay? His image. But it's just these conspiracies because there's so little trust between these cultures that if you just see like this man zipline, you just assume he's in on it because he's one of them. And how couldn't he be? And this is really how it gets much more toxic than this. In fact, if you're curious as to what that water bottle skit was earlier with those people in the UK, they don't even live in India, making signs with the water bottle while scratching their ass. It actually has to do with a treaty between India and Pakistan. See, there is a river that runs through India and goes into Pakistan. River, India, Pakistan. And this river carries to Pakistan 80% of the water that it uses for its agricultural businesses, which obviously is very big in Pakistan. I say that obviously, like everybody knows that, but it is very big in Pakistan. A lot of people get by on farming. And so in India is where that route starts. You can see that here. And so, even though despite all the violence, the multiple wars that these two societies have fought, there has been a treaty dictating that Pakistan can get this water, that it will go down the rivers, and they'll be able to access it by treaty, that they've both agreed that this is something that's going to stay in stone and that they deserve the water because it's vital for their national security and economy. And so what's being asked for by those people is to cut off the water, destroy Pakistan's agricultural capacity and its water supply. That's what that is a call for. So if you're curious as to what any of that nonsense was about, it was basically before an investigation has occurred. Now, the Pakistani government has said that they're open to a transparent investigation and participating in a transparent investigation. I find that hard to believe. Not that they would be willing to participate in maybe an investigation. Definitely if they didn't participate in planning or being involved in this attack in any way. I just find it hard to believe that it's going to go anywhere. Because these are not two countries with deep ties. It's going to take work to establish that. It's going to take time. And time is something that I think Modi probably does not believe he has, as he has to react to public sentiment, react for his nation's defense. And it is that pressure to react that I think has led to this. Well, the Pakistan defense minister is saying that a military incursion by India is imminent. This is a Reuters exclusive from Islamabad. Pakistan's defense minister said on Monday a military incursion by neighboring India was imminent in the aftermath of the deadly militant attack on tourists in Kashmir last week, as tensions rise between the two nuclear-armed nations. The attack killed 26 people and triggered outrage in a Hindu-majority India, along with calls for actions against Muslim-majority Pakistan. India accuses Pakistan of backing a militancy in Kashmir, a region both claim and have fought 2 wars over. So, the Pakistan defense minister believes that military action by Pakistan is coming. In fact, it's like right around the corner. And to be blunt with you guys, he might be right. I'm not saying that there's going to be a large-scale invasion of Pakistan. We're going to have a third war, even though tiny military actions, or relatively tiny military actions, can escalate into war very quickly. What I am saying is that I think that India is of the belief that they have to respond. Even though there hasn't been a full transparent investigation, they don't even know if Pakistan has any involvement whatsoever, to be honest. They haven't presented it to the public. If they had it, I think they'd do that. Unless, of course, it was a source that they didn't want to incriminate. But they'd still have to show something. And they've shown nothing. They've shown nothing. So if they don't have any evidence, why would they attack? Because there has to be someone to be held to account. Because if there's no one to be held to account, well, then that falls on the prime minister, doesn't it? Look, all I want is for tensions to decrease. The last thing that India or Pakistan needs right now is a war. The last thing the world economy needs right now is a war. The last thing the people of either nation need right now is a war. The last thing the atomic death clock needs is a war between 2 atomic states. And the last thing Ukraine needs is to lose another artillery supplier. Even though I believe it is the Russians and the Ukrainians that are trying to buy up those stockpiles. But those stockpiles will dry up very quick if there's a hot war in Asia. Didn't India close off the water supply with dams into Pakistan? I actually don't know if they did go through with it. One second. That might be an update.